major injury has altered the landscape of the running back position for fantasy. I'm Joe Dolan, and this is the Fantasy Points Daily Lineup for Tuesday, October 4th, 2022.
It's time for the FantasyPoints.com Daily Lineup. Staying on top of the latest news and updates around the NFL. Rise and shine, folks. We're taking the field. Here's your host, FantasyPoints.com's Joe Dolan.
Starting at quarterback for the Dolphins in Week 5 and probably beyond is Teddy Bridgewater. That's because Tua Tagovailoa suffered a terrifying concussion against the Bengals on Thursday Night Football, which will hopefully compel the Dolphins to keep him out of the lineup for the near future. Thankfully, Tua was doing well and was discharged from the hospital after the game and was able to fly home with the team. But the Dolphins recklessly played Tua in Week 4 just 4 short days after it appeared, at least on video, that he sustained a concussion against the Bills, which, the Dolphins called a back injury and all that stuff. It's been talked about a lot. But the Dolphins passed him through concussion protocol and allowed him to finish the game against Buffalo before they allowed him to take the field for that Thursday night game. And the NFLPA opened an investigation into the Week 3 incident, and Miami's handling of the entire situation has and will continue to face intense scrutiny in the upcoming weeks as the independent concussion doctor on the scene was already fired. So the question now becomes, did he have a back injury? Whatever the case. Terrible situation. We all understand that. Now, Teddy Bridgewater will fill in for as long as it takes Tagovailoa to get back to full health. And I would think the Dolphins are going to wait until that point and beyond until they let Tua back on the field at this stage. Now, from a fantasy perspective, as gross as it is to talk about, Teddy is a downgrade, though I'm not sure how much, since he and Tua are stylistically similar players. Let's just hope Tua gets the rest he clearly needs. Starting at running back today is the Broncos' Melvin Gordon because of a devastating injury. Javonte Williams left Week 4 early with season-ending ACL, LCL, and PCL tears, which is a horrific blow for the Broncos. Gordon will presumably step into a near bell cow role with Javonte done for the season, and Mike Boone will slide into the number 2 RB spot, while the Broncos also signed Latavius Murray off the Saints practice squad. Murray coming off a touchdown in the London game. But it's worth noting that Gordon, as fantasy players certainly know, has put the ball on the turf 4 times in 4 weeks, losing 2 of them, including one that was returned for a touchdown last week. He has a severe fumbling problem. Now, Boone could see a bigger role than anticipated if Gordon's ball security issues continue, and all Javonte owners should consider adding him until we see how the snaps and touches are distributed in this backfield. Now, I presume Melvin Gordon is probably already rostered in your league. If not, he's obviously the priority pickup. But Mike Boone is certainly someone who is available in your league and should be rostered for any team looking for running back help. Now, meanwhile, in just more devastating news, Javonte has a long recovery ahead of him. There's no guarantee that he'll be ready for the start of next season since he'll be rehabbing multiple ligament tears. Now, our Dr. Edwin Porras believes it's very similar to the injury that J.K. Dobbins suffered last August, and obviously Dobbins didn't play until Week 3, and he suffered the injury in August last year. This was October for Javonte. It took him nearly 13 months to return to action. It's also similar to the injury that Carson Wentz suffered in 2017, and obviously Wentz, for whatever reason, has never been the same. Starting at our other running back spot on Thursday, we hope, is the Colts' Jonathan Taylor. Now, it looked like Taylor may have picked up a high ankle injury in Indianapolis's awful loss to the Titans. Indianapolis just looks awful in general. But ESPN's Adam Schefter reported that tests on Taylor's ankle came back negative, which gives him a chance to play in Week 5. But, of course, it is a quick turnaround to play the Broncos on Thursday Night Football, which will make it difficult for Taylor to play. But head coach Frank Reich, who's on the hot seat, wouldn't rule Taylor out when talking to the media on Monday. Now, Taylor and the Colts offense is completely stuck in the mud right now with 20 or fewer points scored in each of the first 4 weeks of the season. Taylor is averaging just 4.0 yards per carry after averaging 5.5 last year, and he has just 23.7 fantasy points over the last 3 weeks. I should point out, by the way, that through a month of the last season, Jonathan Taylor was the RB28, so it's not over just yet, but this team does look bad. There's no doubt about that. Now, Taylor owners should be prepared to be without him this week, and Nyheim Hines would step into a workhorse role with Deion Jackson and Phillip Lindsay behind him if Taylor's unable to play. Hines is the guy you want to roster, by the way. Like, Phillip Lindsay's been the worst running back in football for 2 years running. Not exactly somebody that I'm looking forward to putting in my lineup. Now, in our wide receiver 1 spot, we have someone who has assuaged all concerns. Now, I hope you didn't panic and sell CeeDee Lamb off of his 2-catch on 11 target performance against the Buccaneers' depth defense in the season opener. CeeDee Lamb's been excellent ever since that shaky performance, which has coincided, interestingly, with Cooper Rush's entrance into the lineup. Lamb has posted 15 or more fantasy points in each of his last 3 contests, with 21 catches for 259 receiving yards and 1 touchdown overall in that span. Now, he even dropped the potential long touchdown against the Giants in week 3, which was pretty much as bad a drop as you'll see all season, or else his numbers would be even better. Now, we thought Lamb had a realistic shot to see at least a 10% bump off of his 20.5% target share from 2021 and maybe even lead the NFL in targets. Well, through 4 weeks, he's currently sitting at a 33% target share, which is massive. Dak Prescott could return to the lineup as soon as this week against the Rams as he recovers from his thumb injury. And though that is unlikely, that would pump more passing volume into this offense. So Lamb is locked in as a wide receiver 1 after his scary first game of the season. Now, I wouldn't expect to see Dak this week, given that the Cowboys are 3-0 with Cooper Rush. There's no need to rush him back. But week 6 against the Eagles in prime time could be the spot we see Dak Prescott return. At our other wide receiver spot, we have a rookie with that dog in him. The Steelers' George Pickens made the catch of the year so far in week 3. It had shades of Odell Beckham's legendary one-handed grab in 2014. Unfortunately for Pickens, he didn't have many opportunities to make more highlight-worthy grabs with incompetent quarterback play from Mitchell Trubisky, dragging him down through the first 3 weeks of the season. That changed in week 4 with the Steelers finally inserting Kenny Pickett into the lineup, which helped Pickett. That is going to be confusing this year. To lead Pittsburgh with 6 catches for 102 yards receiving on 8 targets, which was a 31% share in week 4. Pickett will officially, by the way, start this weekend and going forward for the Steelers. Pickens is a star in the making who can now be used with some confidence with Pickett actually willing to throw the ball downfield. Heck, in a week or 2, he could be elevated to must-start status, considering how Pickett seemed to gravitate to him, and since Deontay Johnson merits considerable attention from opposing defenses. If Pickens is on the waiver wire in your league, he is someone you must pick up. He is our number 1 waiver target of the week. Now, in our flex spot, I hope you didn't count out Touchdown Tom. Yes, Tom Brady finally put some numbers on the board. In week 4, he had all his receiving weapons for the first time since the season opener, and he did not disappoint us at all. Brady completed 39 of 52 passes for 385 yards and 3 touchdowns in the loss to Kansas City in week 4. Disappointing defensive performance for the Buccaneers. And even though he threw the ball all but a few plays, the Bucs had just 3 total rushing yards. Brady looked just like the spry 44-year-old we saw sling it all over the field last season. With his full complement of weapons, all of Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and Julio Jones played in week 4, Brady is always a threat. So it's nice to know that he can still go deep very accurately. He has a favorable schedule coming up with Atlanta, Pittsburgh, Carolina, and Baltimore. So watch for a lot of throwing going forward in those contests. I'm Joe Dolan, and this has been the Fantasy Points Daily Lineup. I want y'all to go to fantasypoints.com and check out the website. We're a quarter of the way through the NFL season. Ergo, fantasypoints.com is a quarter off, 25% off. We have reduced our prices on every package. And you will not believe what I have in store for you. Even though we're already 25% off for the rest of the season, whether you get the standard or the premium package, premium includes betting and DFS, the code lineup22 will get you an additional 10% off. So 25%, plus an additional 10%. That's a lot. You should probably go to fantasypoints.com and save money with code lineup22. I really hope you guys have enjoyed this program. I'm about to go record another podcast with our guy Tom Brawley because the show never stops. You can follow those podcasts, by the way, on the Fantasy Points podcast feed on Apple, wherever you listen to your podcast. But first and foremost, I want you to subscribe to this video. Leave a comment below because it really helps us. Have a great week, everyone. I'll talk to you tomorrow.